Hello, we're going to try this part 2. Let's try this again. Okay, I can see myself on here. So hopefully, I can turn down my volume. Good morning, Amanda. How's it going? I missed you on my birthday chat because you and I have the same birthday. You must have been sleeping in. I was on till 10 something, I think. Maybe just 10. Hopefully you had a wonderful birthday. Yeah, my family decided. Well, I got up. I couldn't sleep. My back was hurting, so I got up at I got on. I think 6:30 until like 9 a.m. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I had a great birthday. Didn't sleep in, as you saw. And I made. Um, we basically had dumplings all day. My husband had picked up initially, before I had said I was going to go to T&T, the Asian market, and pick up dumplings. He was going to go to Chinatown, like where he picked up some mutton rolls from our favorite Indian restaurant, a Sri Lankan one. And oh, it's 8 a.m. for you guys. It's 9 our time here. And he picked up from a Sri Lankan restaurant we love. They have these mutton rolls. We haven't found them anywhere else. He went and picked those up and got off work early on Friday. Yeah, and we had that as a starting of our lunch, breakfast, lunch, supper. Kind of like 8 throughout the day. And then um, if I hadn't picked up dumplings, he was going to go to our favorite um, restaurants down in Chinatown and pick up our favorite dishes from them that we like certain dishes we like their hot and sour soup, some we like their dumplings, some we like their noodle dishes, and we always go and check them out when we're craving a certain thing. Like their other dishes are good too, but we like certain dishes from certain restaurants that are better. He's done that before, but since I had made plans, because nobody tells me what plans are, that I was going to go to T&T and pick up dumplings, because then it's cheaper too, right? He's like, okay, well, I'll pick up the mutton rolls. And he picked up a cake. So I had a Dutch chocolate cake for my birthday. It was just nice for our family, nice small one, because we don't need a really big cake. And then yesterday, at my in-laws, we had ordered food from a local lady. She does like Indian, Malaysian, uh, Chinese, Indonesian, and also Caribbean type food. Like she has different things on her menu of dishes from those places, and she has some combos already set up, and she'll do things for larger portions. Like her portions are about 4 portions per plate. So we asked for portions for 6 because we did it before from her, and we asked for portions for 10. And afterwards, like we had, because we had 10 people, but like 2 of them are kids that are small eaters, right? My in-laws are not too big on spicy, so they're not huge eaters. When we had 10 last time, I think it was for Mother's Day. Oh, let's see what they pop up. Yeah, that was good. So for Mother's Day, we had things 10, and they came into these tinfoil um, things. Each one was filled to the rim of things that at the end, my sister-in-law and I took one a whole tin of leftovers in there of different things in there. Um, And my mother-in-law had like two of them full in her fridge. Like she ate them all week. Like we had them for 2 meals for my family. We added some naan bread. So this time we did it for 6 because we knew 10 was like her portions are quite large. We ordered like 10 samosas and 10 vegetarian egg rolls, um, and they're huge. Um, and then the rest for 6. And we still had leftovers to the point that my kids' lunch has leftovers, and I have leftovers, and my mother-in-law has leftovers. My sister-in-law this time didn't take leftovers because she already had meals already planned for this week. So I'm having leftovers. This is Shanghai noodles, pad thai, butter chicken, and black pepper beef, and chicken fried rice. The Thai um, shrimp was all gone. Well, there was one portion left that my mother-in-law took for herself. So that was perfectly fine. Everything else was like way. Yes, and it cost like. So each of those trays, like so the samosas were $1 each, and same with the egg rolls were $1 each, which is reasonable. Hi Oreo. But each of those trays were between $20 and $24, except for the fried rice. I think was $14 for like those metal trays for, because she did it for 6 portions. And they were like 3/4 of the way filled for 6 portions. So I guess like for 10 portions they were filled. And I don't know if she had other ones. I'm trying to think last year when we ordered, but it's really good. She does it. She rents out an industrial kitchen, and this is how she does her things. So it's all through Facebook and stuff, and it's a local lady. So it's quite yummy. And we asked for it mild, and God we did, because her butter chicken had a little bit more spice, but it was still mild, just because my in-laws are not big spicy people, and we have my nephew. He's 2, and he's not big on spicy, but does like Indian flavors. So how's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Are you on your way to work, Amanda? Or are you working from home today? What did you do for your birthday? Long enough. We went and saw Black Panther yesterday. Not yesterday, Saturday night. So we had dumplings all day. And like we had a first batch of them like at lunchtime, and then another batch about 4:30, 5 o'clock for breakfast shopping. And then my hubby threw a surprise party for me. Oh, awesome. You're loving the show. Thanks, Oreo. Hi, Weaves Gaming. I'm eating leftovers from my meal at my in-laws yesterday. This is only 1/3 of the leftovers I got home. My kids, I do videos of their lunches if I ever actually put them together. They have like half of this in their lunches too. So I'm eating it for breakfast. It'll be my breakfast lunch. Yes, you had a shiny wrench last time. Hi Denise, how's it going? Hopefully you grabbed a snack. See, I put in my description to grab a snack. So it's fair warning. Drinking coffee. Yeah, make sure we're sharing the love. We went to see Black Panther on Saturday for my birthday. It was good. My friends said it was really, really good. I thought it was good. I don't know about really, really good. I liked the action and that, and I really liked the sister to Black Panther. She was awesome, and the ex girlfriend of Black Panther. But see, I like the fact that I had really great, strong female characters, and I like the fact that the movie itself had a lot of African um, actors in it that were strong, respectable characters. Like sometimes they get stereotyped in movies, and it's not fair to them. But this is really nice to see that, and that the technology that was in it of this country was kind of neat. And the storyline was a little bit wishy-washy. Like I think it was just stretched. Like they could have done more to the storyline. They could have done um, more behind the scenes to this point. But it was good. I can't wait to see the next Marvel movie that's coming out. They had like 4 or 5 advertisements in there of 4 or 5 Marvel movies coming out this year. My birthday, it was good. I had um, my family, my husband picked up mutton rolls from a Sri Lankan restaurant that we love. The only place we can find these really spicy mutton rolls. We had that for like breakfast, lunch, and then I started making the dumplings I bought from T&T. Um, and we still have dumplings from T&T. We didn't eat them all. We had them for kind of a breakfast lunch, and then we had a break. We watched some. Actually, we saw some Black Lightning on Netflix, and then we ate some more, and then we went and saw Black Panther. So it was a very much of a DC Marvel superhero day. Yep, saw a preview for Ant-Man and Wasp, and I really want to see it. It looks funny. Um, I never used to be into superhero movies, and then my daughter started liking them, and now I'm kind of really into it. But she only likes certain ones. She's very picky because she's like, oh, it's good. Like she's very much a Marvel person, except for DC. She doesn't like DC as much, except DC for television shows. Like she likes Legend of Tomorrow, which is good on, and we liked The Flash, but we still are behind on a bunch of things. We haven't continued on to Legends of Tomorrow because we haven't watched some of the Arrow and Supergirl and Flash episodes that need to be seen before you continue on with Legends of Tomorrow because they kind of meshed them together. And we're not big on Arrow. I liked it, but my husband didn't, so we'll have to go and try and go through them. We'll have to tough it out and watch a show that is not completely their thing. I haven't watched Fixin'. We're more Marvel people, so we just finished watching Black Lightning. I think it's over until March. That was really good. We didn't like Iron Fist as much. I did, but my family was kind of like, it's kind of stretching it. But we loved, um, what's his name? Luke Cage. Loved Luke Cage. And, whatever. Thunder? You mean Black Lightning? I don't know who Black Thunder is. It's really good, and it's nice that it's done in a way that's not stereotypical. You know. Yes, I loved Daredevil. Don't like haven't liked Jessica Jones. Yeah, and we haven't done the Defenders yet. we started trying to watch Jessica Jones. My family, I would watch it, like, but it wasn't my favorite. And I usually like strong female characters, so we just found her character not as likable. We usually like the underdogs, type character. Yes, birthday dessert. So, my birthday, my husband picked up a Dutch chocolate cake, and we had that for dessert. And when he picked up the Indian mutton rolls from the Sri Lankan restaurant, the lady was quite impressed that he had traveled all the distance to go there because it's downtown, and he was coming back for my birthday, and he picked up like a dozen of these rolls. That she gave him a piece of Indian dessert for free for me because she was all happy that he traveled that distance. And and then what else? Oh, yesterday for dessert we had, so my in-laws ordered from this lady who did um, this food, some leftover, which was pad thai, Shanghai noodles, butter chicken, black pepper beef, um, green curry shrimp, and chicken fried rice, and then samosas and egg rolls. And I got leftovers. They got leftovers too. So I was like, and my kids have leftovers in their lunches. So there was lots of food. So after having that, they had picked up a small chocolate cheesecake with a brownie bottom, as well as a raspberry vanilla cheesecake with a brownie bottom. And I had a little piece of both, and I was very happy because I love cheesecake. So, and everybody who wasn't, well, everybody that was still full, they had a little slice of cheesecake. And then some people who weren't big on um, desserts didn't have them. Yes, I love leftovers. Especially leftovers of stuff I didn't have to cook. Breakfast of champions, leftovers. That's healthy. There's a vegetable, there's meat, there's grains. Oh, zombie is good. I'm not big on zombie movies. I did get into not not the big zombie movie that everybody likes. They're Walking Dead, not that one. There was another zombie one on Netflix. When I last May I got into it. I was at a friend's place watching her other kids while she had another baby in the hospital, and I got into it because, well, I stay up late and the kids were all in bed. Z Nation, yes, that was it. I've seen that was it. Like, I couldn't remember, and I got into it, and it was actually pretty good. But I'm not a big zombie thing because zombie to me is, see, like, my husband likes listening to audiobooks too, and he likes zombie books, and I told him he's not allowed to listen to them at night because then I hear it. But see, zombie movies are too um, realistic as a possibility. My Zombie is it's about one girl. She eats brains of homicide victims. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. Sounds really gross, but like I find with the zombie movies, they they're too realistic as a possibility of, like, we could have an influenza that causes people dying and then they come back and go after you. Kind of like the Armageddon type movies, right? I like them, but if they are too realistic, like the possibility of um, something crashing into Earth, um, and causing a natural disaster or whatever, or all of the power going out in the world, so all of our electronics don't work and stuff like that. That's a possibility, right? And I like those movies, but I can't watch those movies too close to bedtime because my brain is very creative and very active, and I dream about those movies, and I make my own movies in my mind with me in them, so that same with things that I do too active on before bed. My brain is just too crazy. But that sounds like an interesting twist on a police detective type movie. So, what other movies do you guys like? And Weaves, you've got to go start watching Firefly. My kids have watched Firefly, and it wasn't even around, I don't think, when they were babies. We watched it on reruns on, I think it was on Netflix or on the net somewhere. It's really good. They need to bring that show back. Good morning, Biddy Boo Brown. How's it going? Having coffee. Going good. Just got through feeding the baby goats. Oh, cute. Did you take a video of eating? I love baby animals. They're all so cute. I live vicariously through people on YouTube and their baby animals. Cause I guess it's probably springtime where you are. Like here, where we are in Canada, most people don't. When they have the animals outside, they try not to have them birthing until at least March, April, because in February and beginning of March, it's still cold, and it can be like it can always drop really, really, really cold. Had twins this weekend during storm, and this one wasn't going to make it, so I brought it in Battlefield. Okay, wasn't going to make it, like it was just on the weaker side. Well, from my friends who have farms, um, their animals almost always give birth during a storm. There's, I think, something um, like any storms, like rainstorms or thunderstorms, or like if there's a chance of a tornado warning or whatever, any type of storm, there's something like in the barometric pressure or whatever that causes if their animals are close to labor, like it's so many days or whatever. It's not a complete science. Well, with anybody, it drops them into into birth. Hello, Amanda. Oh, you got a phone call. Are you back? So are you bottle feeding it from milk that you're milking from the mother goat or from another goat? Mimi is due any day. There will be another storm likely tomorrow. So most likely she'll go into labor. Exactly. I mean, it's like mothers. You get pregnant. Yeah, here's your due date. I don't know how they do the math in these due dates, these magical due dates. Even with my second one, I knew exactly when she was conceived because there was no, my first one, I was not completely sure, you know, because I didn't write those things down on the calendar, right? So, but with the second one, we had a baby already. There was not a lot of action going on, and we were packing to move at that time, and he was away for work. So I knew that we basically celebrated my birthday and knew when the conception date was with her, so that when we went to the doctor, and she was still 10 days late, and we had to get induced with her. My oldest was 2 weeks late from when we thought she was conceived. Like, so with human babies, if they can be off by 2 weeks or more, animals probably even as much. Because I mean, with animals though, you put them together, and roughly this week or whatever they were fertilized or whatever, impregnated, however you want to say that. But I find it interesting with eggs though, that with eggs to be hatching, they're almost right on the dot. Like, I've seen friends like that have egg hatching incubators things, and it's like so many days in here, and like literally on that day, within one day, they will all hatch if they're going to hatch. My coffee is done. I will be right back. Sometimes mine hatch 3 days early. Well, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's 21 days or 22 days, like, or whatever the days are. It might be a couple of days early because you never know quite when you got the eggs. They might have been yesterday's eggs that you missed. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're not like with. But I find it odd that like eggs are so exact, while like human babies, you know, like with my oldest, we didn't get induced, and she was 2 weeks late. They just kind of looked at the ultrasound. Oh, it doesn't look quite. It's not too big or whatever. But there was, you know, we knew within a week and a half of when conception was, right? Because again, my husband traveled for work, so, and then, you know, I'm pregnant. Well, they're like, well, you can't get pregnant on this. I kind of knew roughly. And with my youngest, definitely knew because there was not a lot of action going on when you're trying to pack for a move and hubby's in another province. uh, those things don't happen on their own. It's a temperature thing. If temps run a bit high, they hatch a bit early. If temperature run... Oh, okay. See, I don't know these things. My daughter my youngest daughter last year, she took green industries at school, which part of the thing, they had eggs from a local farm. They got an incubator and they hatched the eggs, and then they fed and raised the eggs, and they checked for uh, butt poop disease or whatever, plugged butt or whatever, and they cleaned them and fed them and all that stuff and took care of them for a month or so, or month and a half, and then they returned them back to the farm. Yeah, thank you. So they had to learn all those type of things. Like, part of their program was doing that. They also had they planted veggies and seeds in the garden. They made bird houses and bee, um, not a beehive, but bee hotel or whatever. Can you tell I've been on a farm? Yeah, see, I'm a city girl. I'd love to live in the country and stuff, but we just can't afford land or that out there right now. Also, I would have to get my license, which is kind of important. Um, so I do what I can at home here. I can, and I garden, and I buy stuff from the farmers. Hi, Baking Diva, how's it going? And I try and do what I can here. And I live vicariously through other people's YouTube channels that do live on farms. And I get to see all the pretty, cute animals. Hi, Luke Swanson. Pickle Boys video music. What's Pickle Boys? I don't know what Pickle Boys is. But all my farm videos are awesome. I love farm videos. Hi, Michelle Richards. How's it going? Yes. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Grab coffee. I'm going to get a refill. But while I'm getting a refill, make sure that you're sharing the love up and down. Ooh, I can't wait to see the babies. I like baby animals. They are cute. I text her with what is called Take WhatsApp. Okay, yeah, I've used the WhatsApp app. I prefer Hangouts, and I use Messenger with Facebook. I'm just getting coffee. I'll be right back. Share the love. I'm back. I grabbed coffee. Yum, coffee. So, love you to the moon and back. Get settled. Where is Canada? Canada is the west end suburb of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Ottawa is the nation's capital. So, um, Canada is where the actual Ottawa Senators play. Hi, Art. How's it going? Recovering from my surgery. Don't let anyone tell you. No, not a piece of cake. Glad you're recovering. Hopefully you have the time and that to relax and enjoy the being off your feet part. I'm sure there's lots of YouTube videos you can watch. Yes, I'm in Canada. I live in Ottawa, well, the suburbs, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Have you? What's Luke Sanson? What is Pickle going on video yet? I don't know what that is. Well, have a great day at work, Amanda. Maybe somebody will get you lunch too if they forgot your birthday on the weekend. And everybody wish Amanda a happy birthday. She missed my live stream on Saturday. She has the same birthday as me. Happy birthday, Amanda. Hopefully you have a wonderful week too. You're in Montana, United States. I've heard of Montana. Um, I've never been to Montana though. Thank you, Art, for belated birthday for me and Amanda. His granddad passed away, so made them the music. Cool. Okay. Really? Yes. um, let's put it this way. Last weekend, if you look at my live streams last week, actually I was talking about the healthcare. Hi, Half Acre Dreams, sharing the love. Welcome. Grab a coffee, grab food, because we'll probably talk about food. Right now we're going to talk about healthcare in Canada. Last Saturday, my daughter fell on the ice and hurt her wrist and her elbow hurt. So I wrapped it up with I went and bought a special like brace and stuff to see if that would help, and that didn't help. So Sunday during my live stream, she had come down. She hadn't slept all night. She was still in a lot of pain. Tylenol, Advil was not working, and I'm like, okay. So I was searching around for walk-in clinics in the area if they were open, and if there was any X-ray spots. Because I'm like, okay, we've been treating it like a sprain. If it's broken, there's nothing I can do besides confirming with an X-ray, right? Well, it's Sunday. There's no X-ray places open. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go to the hospital. So a friend, I posted on my thing about my Facebook about if there was any clinics, and they're like, no, but if you need a ride, because I said what was for, people suggested go to the hospital because they have the X-rays there, right? So I'm like, okay. So Sunday went to the hospital, signed in. It took a few. It wasn't, since it wasn't urgent. Like they triage you, and we were in. We got X-rays done. They looked at the X-rays. The doctor that was there didn't see any fractures and stuff, but wasn't. But they said we'll send it to radiology in the morning, and like when this evening or in the morning, and they'll check it. And if there's any problems, we'll call you back. I'm like, okay. So they wrapped her wrist up in a tensor bandage. So they took off the brace I had, and gave us a free those industrial black slings with the things. I saw them at the pharmacy when I picked up, and it's like a $45-50 sling. It's adjustable with Velcro. You can have it if you have a shoulder injury. There was another strap. Gave it to us for free. Like, okay, not going to complain about free, right? So we come home, and then the next day we got a call about 4:30. So Monday's a holiday here in Ontario. It was Family Day. So nothing is open. No clinics, nothing is open. So they said, oh, the radiologist saw that there was a tiny little fracture in the elbow, so to please come back. And we've already sent your thing to the front desk. So when you come, just you register. It'll probably be a bit faster process. Well, I'm like, okay, fine. They said, well, it's very busy here. There's over 100 people in queue right now. That the earlier you come, the better, because the shifts change at like 7 or 8. And then in the evening, there's less doctors on because A, that's a holiday, and B, it's the evening. So there's way more doctors on during the daytime than there are at night. Fair enough. So had to finish up. I started supper in the Instant Pot, so I had to wait till it finished so I could put that in the fridge. Because my husband's like, yeah, we'll order out because my other daughter was having a nap. She was having a headache and stuff. We'll order out if you're not back. Otherwise, we have that for the next day. Fair enough. And we grabbed a lunch at the Tim Hortons at the hospital, like a supper sandwich there. Went in there, went through the same process as we did the day before, but wasn't too busy. Like once we had our forms there, we didn't have to answer as many questions because they already had it there. And went in there, saw a doctor. They fit her up with a half-cast splint, wrapped it up, put it back in the sling, and everything. And we were out in 2 hours, which is pretty darn good going through emergency. Okay, the other day was like 3.5, 4 hours, but there was a lot more filling out paper. Like not like I didn't fill up. They filled out paperwork. I just answered questions. So, and you know, it's free. Didn't pay a dime. The only cost to get there or back or the parking. The parking is usually they'll get you because it's $13 for a day, but basically after 2.5 hours, you're at the maximum anyways, and you're never going to get in and out of the hospital for 2 hours. um, but if we went to the clinic, it would have been the same thing. They would have given us a requisition for X-rays. It cost us nothing. Last week, I personally had a mammogram. My doctor gave me requisition, sent it to there, completely free, nothing. I get to have another one with ultrasound or whatever this week because I guess the pictures weren't very clear. Completely free, not costing me anything. When my daughter was in Emerge a couple of years ago, she had a CAT scan and cost nothing. My other daughter, when she was in the hospital for a week, cost us nothing. They gave her the meds that she needed, everything like that, prescriptions. If you have to pay for prescriptions, but not while you're in the hospital. They give prescriptions, so that's why with your own employer's insurance, if you have it, they usually cover 80 to 100% of prescriptions, eye care, dental, and stuff. And those eye care and dentals have like maximums. Prescriptions usually don't, or we haven't seen. Well, maybe some plans do. And also having that plan brings you from, if you're in the hospital, you go to the hospital, you're in a ward of 4 beds. And then if you have insurance, you can move up to half to semi-private or private, depending on your insurance. Or if you don't have insurance, you just pay, it's about $100 to $150 per day for a semi-private room, and then another 100 or so for private per day. But that's the only thing you'd have to pay for. So since we had insurance, my daughter was there, she got semi-private room once it was available. Like sometimes there's just no semi-privates available. And then we were there and it cost nothing. You know, all of her care was taken care of, and everything. So we didn't get a bill. If we had to use an ambulance, OHIP pays, like if we call for an ambulance costs about $250. OHIP, which is your health card, which everybody has, pays $150 of that. So you sometimes will get a bill, or it's $200, a bill for $50. But if you have insurance, you submit insurance. And if you're low income and you can't pay that, it gets covered as well. They just want to make sure that you're not calling an ambulance to go to the doctors because you have a cough, you know? Would be nice. Why would you give up your rights for free medical? We have all the same rights as you guys. So, yes, we pay it in our taxes, but I'd rather pay it in our taxes and not have to possibly refinance my house to pay more medical bills, or lose my house if I got cancer. Yeah, we could bear arms. we just have to register our weapons. I half the people I know have guns. They just have to register them. Is it free? Care up. It's tough. Yeah. So my mom, she had cancer. She was low income. She worked 3 jobs to put food on the table, and that she had cancer. She didn't, it got, all of her treatments and everything, radiation, all that stuff got covered. She didn't have to pay a darn thing. Um, and she didn't lose her house to pay her medical bills. I mean, she did die because the cancer that she had was terminal, but she lived for 5 years past when they said that she was going, that they gave her, right? It was all because of the treatments that she got. Like, there were some new changes in cancer treatments at that time, and they were trying the new treatments versus the old treatments. And she lived 5 years with it. All of her meds covered, everything. And as for your rights, like your rights to bear arms, you just have to register them. That's it. Um, I've never had to pay. The most I've ever had to pay is prescriptions. And even now, kids under 25, doesn't matter if you have insurance or that, their prescriptions are covered. It started this year, are all covered, so you pay nothing. Yeah, I'm already at 700. Expenses of having surgery on 3. Wow. Hi, Anissa. Yeah. See, for example, I gave birth to 2 babies. I paid nothing. Nothing. I had an obstetrician. I had ultrasounds. I had prenatal care. I had a midwife. All that free. Well, it's not, I mean, you pay with your taxes or whatever, but we get money back every year. So, like, whatever we pay, I'm supporting you, Anissa. I was just like making sure uh, I was supporting. Didn't recognize your name too much. Pros and cons, exactly. There's pros and cons. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so yes, we might have a bit wait. Like when you go to the hospital, we always just assume we waiting at least 2 or 3 hours. Now, okay, if or 4, if you are bleeding profusely, they triage you, so they look at your care. If you're urgent, they'll get you and they'll get you into surgery right away. Okay, you're not going to be sitting there usually dying because you were in a car accident and you're bleeding. You know, if you're there and your kid has an earache and there's nothing open and you go there, you might be waiting a while because on the priority list, you are low on the priority. Well, exactly, and so we just had this discussion with my in-laws. They were complaining about 3 hours, 4 hours was long to wait at emergency. I'm like, that's not bad. Like, if you are profusely dying, you get seen much sooner. Yeah, we only get so at our children's hospital, we've had to wait about 6 hours, when it wasn't a complete emergency. Like like we go there because you know, you've tried to treat a fever for so many hours, they're throwing up. We have a telehealth, so we have a phone number that we can call, and we talk to nurses and stuff like that, and they go through your thing, and they'll say if it can kind of wait, or should you go to emergency, can it wait till tomorrow to see your doctor, or tomorrow for a clinic, because the clinics are only open, like, if you're lucky, 9 to 5, um, wherever you are. So they try and discourage you from going to the hospital, but they'll 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 triage you, and then they'll, okay, go to the local hospital. Da 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 da. But my best friends went to the ER having a heart. Well, so that's the thing. Like when you're telling the nurse the symptoms, like, so this is the thing. When you first go in, like in our hospitals, they do a short, quick questionnaire. Why are you here? Da 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 da. If you're like saying you're having heart pain, or you say you have a heart attack, well, you've just been bumped up on the triage. list, you know? But if you're saying, oh, I'm just feeling uncomfortable, well, like when the next person that goes and more assesses you, because then I was a nurse checking you out and checking your blood pressure, because that's all they do. Like, so the first one asks you questions, why are you here, da da da. Then you go sit down for maybe 15 minutes, uh, maximum probably about half an hour. Then the triage nurse goes fully into your things, checks your blood pressure, checks your heart rate, checks your everything within 30 minutes. Now, if you're coming in an ambulance, you're also automatically bumping the line because you came in on an ambulance and the paramedics already have asked you all those questions or have those results for. So we don't see a lot of people dying in waiting rooms waiting to be seen here. That is awful to hear. I mean, yes, we've had people sometimes being sent home. They've gone to the hospital because because the people who've said that their symptoms weren't that bad and they got sent home, and then they've come back again and they found out that they were more sick, and or sometimes they've been sent home and they might have their symptoms got worse but they didn't go back, so I don't know, and they might have died that way. But like when it's a cold or flu, there's not much they can do for you at the hospital. If they've checked you and made sure you were dehydrated, they've given you antibiotics, given you a prescription for whatever you need, you just have to fill them out and then come back if the symptoms get worse. Oh, that is awful. Wow. See, ours does has been doing that for as long as I remember, like ever since I was a kid. So like I'm in my 40s, so but they always there's always like a front desk nurse person that's filling out the reason why you're there, and then um, puts that in queue for the triage nurse who now like, okay, you might be number 57 coming in, but your symptoms are number 3 or 4 versus number 57. So some people might wait longer that have come in because they have they think they might have a sprained ankle or sprained knee or whatever. So those type of things, like my daughter had a possible broken wrist or elbow. She was already had a brace on, so she was in relatively not bad pain, and she wasn't crying until they had to move her thing. So they take your symptoms and your reactions and make a judgment call, as well as make sure that you're not waiting too long. But also, it discourages you for going to the hospital for just a cough. Oh, some of my leftovers from last night. Breakfast of champions. So there's Shanghai noodles, pad thai noodles, butter chicken, black pepper beef, and chicken fried rice. This is the leftovers we ordered for at my in-laws from a local lady. I like supporting local. She does Indonesian, Indian, Malaysian, Chinese, Caribbean cooking, so it's kind of fusion. So she has different things on her menu, and you have to order it like at least 24 hours beforehand because she needs that time to cook it. And she rents out an industrial kitchen and cooks these things up. So we have ordered from her before, and last time we ordered, because our family of 10, so it's us 4, my sister-in-law's family of 4, which includes a 2-year-old, so 3.5, a 2 and a 10-year-old, so let's say 3, but we do for 4 just, and then my in-laws are 2, so for 10. Last time we had for 10, they came in those big, huge metal lasagna pans, all the dishes filled to the top and everything. And we had so much food that time and so much leftovers that my sister and I each had a metal tin of leftovers. My mother-in-law had like 2 or 3 things of leftovers in those metal tins in the fridge. So we're like, okay, this time we're not ordering for 10 because she's very generous with her portions. So we ordered for 6, but then we ordered like 10 samosas and 10 egg rolls because so everybody would have one. And even with that, the samosas were like this, and the egg rolls were quite thick. Actually, I got the extras because my sister-in-law and her 2-year-old shared one each because um, they were big. So I had this much for leftovers, and then another container almost as much as this that the girls both have for their lunches today for school. So, good morning, Razorian Buck. How's it going? So, breakfast, lunch of champions. Oh, just a reminder, everybody share the love, support one another, and that's what we like to do here. That and drink coffee and eat. Had to get the kid to school. Back to sleep. Oh, it must be nice to be able to go back to sleep. I usually can't fall back asleep. I started late this morning because my youngest was late for school, and I had to get her to school. And that's what I had to do. And so instead of starting at 8:30, it was about 10 to 9. So how was your weekend? The weather here was actually quite warm. And then we had a bit of freezing rain yesterday. Yesterday morning. So it was slippery for going to church. But then it kind of started melting. My driveway still is ice. I'm chopping away at it. But it's now just more ice near the garage. Cool. Are you building a pantry or are you working on organizing your existing pantry? I need to really go through that. Um, Actually, good thing. Um, well, I think I will use it as a good thing for my channel too. Is I'm going to be doing more um, cleaning up my pantry, freezer, meals and stuff, and probably videos for that because I need to go through my freezer because I want to purchase a quarter of a cow before the summer. Um, and so I want to do that, but I need to have room in the freezer. Hi, Tammy. Everybody share love. Check if you've already seen her before. We like to share love here. Make sure that everybody's welcome here. Yep, I'm on. Clicked on the wrong person. Very good. Welcome to my channel, Tammy. Yep, I'm already following you. Yep. We were chatting about food and stuff. Oh, I was going to say about my pantry. My husband just informed me this weekend. Well, we were thinking about our vacation plans and stuff, and that's this summer. So we usually go somewhere hot in the summer, even though it's hot here. It's the same temperature as elsewhere, but that's what we like to do, and we do it as a family. Um, he managed to get a good deal that he ended up locking in. So he's like, okay, so we're gonna try and cut our budget for the next couple of months so we can make sure that we have it all paid off. Um, we usually that's what we do. We put on our credit card and then we have it all paid off before we actually go, so that that's what we do. But we were just discussing this, and he was still doing the research, and then he found um, a really good deal on a place, and so he locked it in earlier than he had expected. So for the next couple months, I said to him, like, okay, for the next couple months, I will go and try and take my grocery budget and try and only use half of it, so that the other half could go towards paying off for our vacation. Because I do have a lot of food still in the house. So it was after I bought the um, Chinese stuff from T&T, which you'll see a video. But my next few, maybe probably about 3 or 4 grocery hauls, will be much smaller than I normally do. And it will just be for necessities, so I can try and use up what I actually have. And hopefully have it all, like not all used up, but by the summertime, and that my pantries should be fairly, and freezers should be fairly bare compared to what they are now. Because I always stock up for the wintertime, because I know here in Canada we get snowstorms, we get bad weather, and if I only do groceries twice a month, and I get a ride to do them. If it's bad weather, my friend who I do groceries with lives out in the country, and the country roads are awful. So it can be delayed by a couple of days because the roads are bad and she doesn't want to drive in them. Fair enough. So I always make sure when I was shopping, especially for the wintertime, to have lots of stuff so I don't have to go out. Even though there is a grocery store that I can walk to, it's about a 20-minute walk, um, I can't carry as much when I walk. So that limits me. So, but what I'm going to do, since the weather is starting to becoming almost spring-like, and that is I'm going to be using more of my pantry, more of my freezer, and not buying as much as I normally do, in hopes that that will um, lessen our grocery budget and we can repurpose it towards that. Because that's kind of, that's what we like to do with our extra money, is we like to do on vacation, and we like to do things like um, watching movies and eating out about once a week max, but more like once every couple. Like whenever we go to a movie, we usually try and like eat supper out. This time, for my birthday, we didn't. We just ate at home and went to the movies. Oops, crumbs. So that's why I think we'll be doing a lot more creative type things of using what I have, and then trying to just because it's not that I don't have the food. I have, like, I always have a couple months worth of pantry stuff um, in the freezer and pantry, but it's not always um, set up like meals. So it's like ingredients. There's great ingredients, like I'll have rice and beans or pasta or whatever, but not necessarily the whole meal. Oh, well, have a great day, Bitty Boop. Yes, can't wait to see the baby critters. I'm looking forward to that. Take care. Yeah, take care, and I will definitely check out your baby goats videos when it comes up. Yep, being frugal and using pantry items is great content. Pantry and freezer are some of the great. Yes, well, I do that. I normally do that regularly, but I tend to more of stockpiling the things I like. And gotta go live. Have a great day, Half Acre Dreams. Um, but I'm going to try and focus for March of uh, using up. So that's going to become kind of my goal or my theme for March. I'm going to try and do that. Of using up what we have. I'm trying to get my freezers down so there's actually space. And get my pantries down because it's overflowing and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's the thing with winters, that here in Canada, I've had it, like, stuff I bought was overflowing, so I had a cooler in my garage because my garage was like a big huge freezer, right? And then we had some warm spells, so there were some eclectic meals last week because we had a warm spell, that things that were in this cooler were starting to defrost. So we just were eating them up. So it was not necessarily the best laid plans, because then we had more of the convenience food stuffs, like the egg rolls and Jamaican patties, which we're still um, eating today, because only some got defrosted and then some stayed frozen. So, you know, and we had that's when I cooked up all the chicken and pork chops that I had set up. So I still made those meals I wanted to make with them, just sooner rather than later, because I had overbought when things were on sale and it was cold out. So my freezer was full. Even when I'm using it, it was still full. I don't know about you, but when I go in my freezer, I'll take out a couple things, and my freezer doesn't look like it's empty, like it's emptying. Like, not this past weekend, last weekend, I had taken out like 5 or 6 things for the week, and kind of moved the things around. It still looked full. I'm like, I just took a grocery bag of groceries out of here, and it doesn't look like I took anything out. I think things just fill in the space. It's kind of like when I make a pot of soup. If I follow a recipe, even if it makes 6 servings, it's always making 12. How about this Southeast Asia line? Looking for mutton dumplings. Oh yes, exactly. So I took a picture of them. They are mutton rolls. They're Sri Lankan mutton rolls. They are to die for. So my husband got them from the restaurant Selawanton on Bank Street, off Bank and Somerset here in Ottawa. They are awesome. I should hopefully get the stuff off the camera this week and do up those videos. And then you can see my birthday supper, food wise, what I did. And I'll do an unboxing of the couple things I got for my birthday. Yes, so Sri Lankan was the button rolls, and it's a dough, but on the outside it's like cornmeal, crispy. It was quite yummy, and the mutton was quite spiced, and then the dipping sauce was also spiced. So you needed to have a little bit of something like some milk to drink to go with it, but it was oh so good. I love spicy foods. They don't always agree with me, so that's why I take Tums. But if I find a recipe for it, I'll try and make it, because I love that stuff. We don't. It's hard to find mutton. I'd have to go to one of the Middle Eastern butchers and stuff to find mutton, but I could do it with lamb. Well, thanks, Rosarie and Buck. Hopefully, everybody's been sharing the love and supporting one another. And we nice having you for coffee today and chit chat. And have a good rest. If I find the recipe, I'll go try and do it, and I can, it won't be as good as the restaurant because it never quite is, but it could be as comparable. Also, I find when somebody else makes food, it always tastes so much better. So, and since I'm the cook in the house, I'm always making food. So, when my daughter makes food, like she can make a really good, like these grilled cheese sandwiches. She puts like hot sauce. So, hot sauce and sauteed onions in with the cheese, and melts. Like I could follow what she does, but she does it so much better, and it tastes so much better. Like mine don't taste as good as hers, so everybody likes it when she makes these grilled cheese sandwiches. But then, it's nothing fancy, but it's fancy. Exactly. Oh yeah, and my cooking videos, as you see, are not as professional as others. You see the semi disorganization of my kitchen, and and that's just how it is. Because I'm not cleaning my kitchen spotless before I'm cooking. Good morning, Jasmine. How's it going? Oh, good. Did you take any pictures or videos of them? I love baby. We were just talking about baby chicks earlier. I love baby animals. And I like baby chicks. They're so cute. Wow, up till 4 and you're already back up at 10. Very cool. I can't wait to see. How are you feeling today, Jasmine? Hopefully you're kicking the butt of this cold you've had. Well, feeling human is a plus. I actually put up a new video up this morning that I edited this weekend. Again, leftovers from Christmas time. Uh, Bye, Peppy Breath. Thank you for coming by and chatting. Oh, don't forget to click the like button. Who's all in here? No. Weekend was good. I made dumplings that I had picked up from TNT, which I'll be doing those videos, I think, this week. Although I have a bunch of videos that I need to put together. Um, and then my husband had picked up mutton rolls from the Sri Lankan restaurant, Selawantan, at the corner of Bank and Somerset, and a cake. So I had a Dutch chocolate cake for my birthday. And then we went to see Black Panther, which was really good. And then yesterday went to my in-laws, and we had ordered from a local lady here, Hammy's Kitchen on Facebook. She does Indonesian, Caribbean, Indian, Malaysian, Chinese, kind of fusion food. And so we had ordered a bunch of dishes for about 6 people, even though there was 10, because we've ordered from her before and we ordered 10, and we had so much leftovers. We had The food came in the metal tins, and they were filled to the brim of them. And I had a metal tin, like a lasagna pan full of leftovers last time. My sister had one. My mother had my mother-in-law had three of them left over from after all 10 of us eating the food. This time we ordered for 6, and then we ordered 10 egg rolls and 10 samosas and less dishes. So I think we ordered 6 dishes. And we still had leftovers. That's why I have here. This is still my leftovers. I had another container about this size, and I gave half to each of my girls for lunch. And so there was butter chicken, beef Shanghai noodles, chicken pad thai, chicken fried rice, green curry shrimp, Thai green curry shrimp, and black pepper beef. And there was so much food. But it was really good. And everything, and we on purposely got mild so my nephew and my in-laws wouldn't mind it so much, because they're not too big. My father-in-law is not big on spice, and my nephew's only 2, so. And mild, everything was fairly mild, very flavorful. The butter chicken had still a little bit of a kick, so it was just, a mild with a kick, but it was good. So, very happy. And it cost, each dish, we ordered, was about $20 to $24 for a lasagna style pan full. It was about 3/4 full of that, except for the fried rice, which was $14 for that size pan. So, and then most of her dishes, she does these combos and stuff, so she'll have 3 or 4 dishes and some things for a certain price, and the dishes come in these round containers for 4 people. And we've done that before, we've ordered for here, and then she delivered it, so for a time that we said, I'm like, but we have to order 24 hours ahead of time, because she rents out an industrial kitchen and does all the cooking there. And everything came hot. Each pan was smoking hot. Hi, Frugal Farmer channel. How's it going? Come share the love. We're just talking about food. See, I put a warning in my live stream this morning to make sure that everybody grabs something to snack. Making me I put a warning in there to grab a coffee and a snack. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to stop eating that right now. Yep. Pretty darn good, all things considered. My back's sore, but cupcake for breakfast is awesome. I totally support that. Because us mums don't always get to have, by the time dessert comes after supper, you're usually full on your food, so you don't get time for dessert. So saving that dessert for breakfast with coffee, I'm all for that. I still have a tiny piece of cake from my birthday on Saturday that I'm going to have. Maybe I'll have that tomorrow. But my in-laws have the leftovers of the cheesecakes. Exactly. It does. It has carbs. It has dairy. It has eggs, so there's protein. If there's fruit in there, if there was a cherry on top, then there's fruit. Chocolate, yep. Chocolate's a nut, right? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it's a nut. But chocolate is healthy, yes. But yeah, there's at least 3 food. Well, yeah, I get that too. Well, I'm eating leftovers because I'm too lazy. Breaks over happy. Well, thanks, Frugal Farmer, for popping by. Make sure to share love. Hi, Ramiro. how's it going? We were just talking about some food. I need to get some food. The same old here. Have you gone grocery shopping since you've been sick? Because I find that if I don't go grocery shopping, I get really tired of what we have normally here. As I was just saying, my channel is going to be more for March. Excuse me, for March. I'm going to have a more of a theme of frugal stuff and using what's in my pantry challenge type thing for March. Ugh. So, hubby bought some food though. Yes, but I don't know about you, but when I send hubby to go get stuff, he gets the stuff on the list or whatever, and he'll get stuff that he thinks that we need or whatever, but he doesn't always get the same stuff as I would. And sometimes it involves a lot more snacks thrown in there. As you can see from my grocery hauls, I do pick up snacks that he likes to make sure that there's enough snacks in that are available. But because he likes to have a snack sometimes after in the evenings, like chips or something like that. After supper time while watching movies or shows or something like that. But if you don't give a specific list and they go to the store, they just pick up things that they want or think we need. And sometimes, like I've had it when I've not sent a specific list, he's picked up stuff. I'm like, oh, I already have this. You didn't ask if we needed that. Good morning, Fabio. How's it going? What he thinks are my favorites. Yes, but sometimes what he thinks are your favorites are not your favorites. That's the same thing. I buy things for my husband that I think are his favorites. And he's recently informed me some of the things I've picked up are not his favorites anymore. So, to not pick them up, I'm like, okay. Because for a while there I was picking up whenever pepperettes were on sale. And a brand of chips, like the salt vinegar, sea salt and vinegar chips, like the Kel type chips. He really likes the Pacificies, but I usually pick up the store brand because it's usually just as good. I can't tell the difference. Someone likes one. I know. I don't know. I've had one person come on on almost all my live streams, either after the fact or maybe during the live stream, and give me one dislike. And I'm like, one time I got two, and I'm like, okay, I don't know why I would get a dislike. But must be somebody who just doesn't like me for some strange reason. Well, yeah, unless you're on a diet, then coming in here might not be a good thing. Well, exactly. I'm not going to complain. A dislike does count, and same with negative comments. If they're on afterwards, they still count. I can hide them, I think. But I haven't had very many of those, so I've been lucky. I've only had ones that come in here like trolls and have said stuff. You don't get 10,000 dislikes. You probably get one or two as well. Good morning, Steve. How's it going? I noticed this morning, Steve, when I was getting my daughter ready for school, it popped up a notification that you were live. What time did you go live this morning? I don't know when that notification came on. I turned on my computer while I was getting her ready. I'll have to go check it out. Some people are sad, really sad. That's why I like to bring others down. Yes, some people. There's some people out there that are just gonna piss on everybody's parade, anyways. I got enough. Were you live at some point yesterday or today? Because I didn't have this on yesterday. Like, I got a notification that you were live, and I'm like, oh, okay. You sure? Because it said it was you. Hmm. Now you got me thinking. Let me go check. Where's my notifications? Hi, June's family life. How's it going? We're live like 5. Okay. If I was, I didn't know. Let's see. I can find it here. I'll just try to see where the notification went. Because I could have sworn it was you, Steve. Because I was like, oh, he's doing a live stream. I'm just searching for it. Because it popped up on my computer. I'm like, oh, I closed it because I was closing notifications. I am losing my mind. So you haven't done a live stream in the last like 48 hours? Okay, that's weird because now I'm looking at my notifications and I can't find it. It's the Twilight Zone of notifications. Remember that show? That always freaked me out. Hey, June's family life, how's it going? Yes, it was same things with scary. I was talking about this earlier, Jasmine, that because Weaves was in here, and he talked about I Zombie or whatever, and I said, well, I haven't seen that. I don't usually watch a lot of zombie shows because for me, zombie, like the concept of zombieism is a possibility. Like I can see how a plague or whatever goes and kills a bunch of people, and then but they don't really die and they come back. Like that's why I've never really got into Walking Dead, but I did like Z Nation that was on Netflix. when I was watching my friend's kids when she was having her other kid in the hospital. I got into that because that's why I was watching at night when they were asleep. Because there was not much I could do. I left my family at home. um, but I can't watch that too late at night, or listen to audiobooks about zombie. Like I told my husband, he's not allowed to listen to zombie books in bed because he'll listen to it and then my mind is just too creative at night that it makes up movies in my mind, and have nightmares or bad dreams or whatever you want to call it. And I won't sleep. Like my mind's just too racing. Same with any type of high action thing. I tend to, my mind just keeps racing, so I can't sleep sometimes. So I can do scary stuff, but just not too late at night. Sure, some stuff is believable and upsetting. Oh, exactly. Like same with zombies and any type of apocalyptic event or something that like shuts down all electronics, like the movies. Which I could see those things as happening. I just can't watch those late at night because then my mind just keeps on. Okay, I like watching them because I'm like, let's see how they are dealing with this situation. This like SHTF situation, Very cute. Cute dog mix. Chihuahua. So that's a little itty dog. Chihuahua and Jack Russell. It's super sunny. Not here. Today it's a bit sunny. It's coming through the clouds, though. I don't know if it's going to rain today. I kind of want it to wash more of the ice away, but then it freezes, so... I like Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. I'm still way behind on it. TWD. What's TWD? I love myself. I can't do any more murder, gore, and brutality horror films. Yeah, so we've started watching a thing on Netflix called Carbon something. It's quite gory. Like but it's futuristic uh, thing. And it's quite brutal, but it's kind of also a possibility in the future of we get there technology wise. But it's Carbon something. It's on Netflix. I can't remember it right now. Over 2 hours of pure violence. Yeah. So this is not pure violence, but it's more of like it's a futuristic thing where you don't die. You have a chip in the back of your head that if you die, you can take it out as long as it's fine and put into another skin. So, and skins are from um, people that were, I guess, maybe possibly criminals or what. I don't know where they get the skins from, or if they make them or something like that. But basically, the rich can have the money to clone themselves and make themselves as skins, and then if they die, they just get um, and they download their info onto another disc in case that disc gets broken. So um, they just basically don't die. Like there's people that live for like 300-400 years because their stuff gets rebooted into a new skin or whatever. But it's interesting on the side that the rich get like bored with normal things that rich people do. Like betting on going to the horse track or wherever that they use like people, but people volunteer for these things because then they get money or upgraded skins or whatever. Like it's just like okay. Well, it was like they clone themselves on purpose. so that so they can be booted back into their own bodies and not have a new body. I don't know. Well, there's not. So that's the thing, is that that's kind of how the show is. That there's some people that don't, like, so like you could download your thing and then your family can save up to buy a skin. So it could be like your grandma, if they want to come back or something. Um, it's an interesting concept, but there's a murder. So basically, this guy is brought back from the dead in a different skin, like by a rich guy trying to find somebody who murdered him, but damaged his disc when they murdered. So there's like 12 hours, like, because he automatically uploaded his stuff that is missing, and nobody, he had all the security and all this stuff, and nobody knows who did it, because he didn't do it to himself. So he brought back this inspector guy that is like, um, it's very interesting. Yes, but you'd be like, well, it also kind of shows how people were like, they're constantly in debt. So it's kind of like, it's looking at some good parts of the future and a lot of bad parts of the future. How, and kind of like, how did they get to this point? Like, I can see how our society is right now, and I can see how some of this we could get to this point, and how people were like extremely in debt, that, people, to save their child or whatever, they would purposely take out, like, they'll go and they'll donate their skin, their body, to be paying off debt, and have their disc in a bank to be saved until their family or whatever purchases a skin for that disc to be coming alive, type thing. Or they can do it for a short period of time too, as we saw in the one episode of it, on the Day of the Dead thing, that the cop brought back her grandma who had died into whatever skin was available for 24 hours. So it was like an ex convict or something like that. So grandma was in a gangbanger, like, skinhead body for 24 hours. It was kind of funny because you hear this, like, this gangbanger talking all grandmotherly. So, but it was kind of, they're basically trying to find out who tried to kill this rich person and why. And then there's a whole bunch of other things happening, like, there's so much conspiracy theories, and there's lots of violence, of course, which, if you're not afraid to die, right, there's a lot of things that you would do, because if you die, well, you just get a new one, right? If you're rich, right? If you're poor, not so much. And so the classes of people, like we see it in society now, there are rich, there are medium class, there are poor, but they're much more closer. Like, the rich are still up here, like, but they're just so far apart that the rich are like, in the show, alternate carbon. That's what it's called. It's like so far removed that they are more powerful than the governments, than the police, than, any government. They can pretty much do what they want, and the poor are still down here and have like nothing. And it's like, it's not just like one area. And then there's a new group of people, of like the Roman Catholics, I think they were called, like, that they're like, they don't want to be like, when they do die, they don't want to be brought back. That they on purposely don't get, they get their thing removed, or they have it so they don't be brought back. Because what happens when people die, like, are murdered, they are sometimes brought back in a rented skin to testify against their murderer, like, to identify their murderer and stuff, and that, so they're able to catch the murderers, and that if the person saw who killed them, they're their best witness. So it's kind of like interesting that way. But there's scenes in it where it's like virtual torture. So It's not technically happening, but is virtually. So there's a whole, and it's quite brutal. It's a movie. It's a show. It's a show. It's a show on Netflix called Alternate Carbon. Um, it's definitely a mature audience. It's quite interesting. I find it quite interesting. Yeah, it's not possible right now that I know of. But who knows, right? Your wife would have issues there, Oreos kid, and so would mine. It's 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 quite interesting. Like, I like the science and the concept behind it. I'm not too fond of the violence. Um, uh, did I just saw Vector in here. I think. Did I see Vector? I don't know. I thought I saw Vector, but maybe I'm just seeing things, or just saw a blue. No, it's okay. It's Fabio's picture. It was kind of blue. Did you see my FB pictures? The ones that you showed me last week with the ducks. Yes. But I'll check again. Wasn't really on the computer yesterday because I had church and then went to my in-laws, and then like we literally got home. It was 9. I was exhausted. I went to bed. Oh, I'm just gonna go to your photos. Oh, there's the baby ducky. Hi, Shacklever. She has all the baby duckies. Hee 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 hee. That's Jasmine's baby duckies. And chickens. Chicks. So cute. Good morning, Shackward Farms. How's it going? Yes, they are so small. I'm like, oh. Well, the ducks, they come out bigger than the chicks, eh? No, well, I don't have dots today. I have flowers. So I don't know what you're going to do with the flowers. And I'm sure your wife doesn't appreciate the marks on the screen if you're doing connecting the dots. Yeah, no, I had to. I said the reason why I was late this morning was I had to get my daughter to school, so she was late, and then I had to get her there. And it was slippery between here and there. The ducklings are a week old, but the silkies are far more delicate. They are 24. Okay, very cool. That's my screen. I'm sure she would probably have something to say, though. And then you wouldn't be able to use it for anything else. I have to stay in the same position the whole time so that your lines would make sense. a 7-hour drive to get here. So did you hatch? So did you hatch them both from eggs, or did you get the babies and are raising them? I only hit the high points. Okay. Okay, so Mark picked them up from a breeder who raises them. So they were already born, but you had to pick them up. The ducks, but the chicks you hatched yourself, correct? Or were those already picked up? Are they the same type of? Because I know you have a couple breeds of ducks. Are they the same type of ducks you already have? He hatched the silkies too. Okay, very cool. Hatching what? Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna say I thought you were hatching some, but I saw babies and I'm like, nothing. Sorry, I think Bitty Boo Brown. She has some baby goats. She was feeding one with a bottle, so she's gonna have a video soon. Those are just as cute. I think all baby animals are cute, but ducks and chicks are cute. I don't. So I don't mind ducks, but like where we are, like on the Iowa River, we used to always go and feed ducks and the geese and stuff like that. But sometimes they get aggressive. Most times they're not, but the wild ones that we feed, and we don't feed them bread anymore because we've heard that's bad. So I usually pick up some seed and feed them seed. I just get a bag of wild bird seed from like the dollar store or whatever for a couple bucks, and feed them apple. I think it's apples, like fresh fruit and stuff. I've heard. I'm trying to think what we did last time. I googled it because I heard that feeding bread to the ducks was not good. Who sold me the silkies? He also gave me 4 eggs to hatch. Cool. Very, very cool. Now, so is this your first chicks because you only have ducks? Because I'm like, I think we've had this discussion before, but honest, my brain is not always good at remembering things. But you only have ducks right now, not chickens, but now you're getting chickens with the ducks. Correct? Had silkies before, but they died. Okay. Did they die naturalish causes, or were they um, hunted by other animals, by predators? Cool. Well, good luck. I think you will do fabulously, as long as you follow the instructions. Because from what I've seen, it's all pretty fairly easy, as long as the machines for the incubator are kept at the right temperature and like you follow the instructions. I know that I was just discussing this earlier. We were saying about how it's 21 days for chicks, and it's like literally on the dot. Like if it's a little bit too on the hotter side, it might be a day early, it might be a day late. But I mean, with babies, human babies, you have a due date. Both mine were almost 2 weeks. Well, one was 2 weeks late, and the other one was 10 days late. And we got induced with her because they did ultrasound. She was huge, and she had no inclination to coming out. She was like, "I'm staying in here." Quills over short 18 days. Wow. Guys, from natural causes, they traveled during the winter, and I think they got. And I think. Handle the trip. Oh, okay. That kind of sucks. See, that would be my thing I would do. Pheasants are tough to hatch too. Why? Why are they tough to hatch? If these silkies don't turn out, I may never get into chickens. Okay. Oh, good morning, Food Forest Permaculture. How's it going? Well, I just gotta keep trying, and I guess, like, I don't know how much they cost, but, replacing them costs money, but I think in the long run, I think they're relatively cheap, all things considered. Good morning. They are $10 each, and I had 8, so he gave me 3 free and 4 free eggs to try to help me. Awesome. Well, that was very kind of him. So the chicks are $10 each. How much if they were actual chickens? And how much if they were just eggs? My murder ducklings are a bit more expensive because they are show quality. Okay. Doing great. Stopped snowing yesterday. Sounded warm. Cool. Well, it was warm this weekend. It was above 0 for most of the time. But we had some freezing rain yesterday morning. I still have ice in my freaking driveway. It's driving me batty. Been chopping away. My shoulders are sore from chopping it. He doesn't sell eggs, but I think 8 to 10 is average. Oh, okay. Hi, California greenhorn fisherman. Long time no see. Welcome to my live stream. Hopefully you've grabbed a coffee and a bite to eat, because we usually get to around to food. Share the love. Actually, I'm going to get more coffee, but my coffee is almost gone. It's gone on the cold side. I'll be right back. Feel free to chat. I will catch up when I get back and I'll look on the chat thing. Here. I'm back with my coffee. Coffee. Let me check on the chat. I'll never be a firm, just a little hobbyist. Well, most things start off as a hobby. Let's see. Yeah, see, our weather here today is better than yours, Howie, in BC. Because it's above zero here. Hey, 50 chickens in the hen house, how's it going? I'm just catching up on the chat. We have filed pheasants here. Wild is what we raised. Okay. Just mean. Oh, I'm gonna go at like 2 months, I think. Okay, that's just keeping cutting it. Chat. Yes, Jeff? Okay. Selling enough eggs to pay for feed. That's good. Yeah, how much do you sell your eggs for? Here in Ottawa, organic eggs go for about $6 a dozen or so. Hopefully you feel better. There are 50 chickens in the hen house. Duck eggs, and now have to sell more this week. Only 2 return buyers. Not sure why. Oh, okay. Maybe they hadn't finished. How many buyers did you have the first time? Algonquin Highlands, a ways from where you are. Cool. 6 is still okay. Hi, Josh the Scratch Man. Sorry, just catching up on the chat here. Very cool, Mountain Mama. I'm going to check out your videos. I love baby chickens and baby animals. That's really cool, FFP. Been in your family 100 years. I don't think I know anything that's been in our family like 100 years. We keep on having clouds, and the sun keeps popping through the clouds here. Yeah, $9 for mine, but they are jumbos. Okay. Wow. Hey Google, what's the temperature?
The temperature in Ottawa right now is 3 degrees.
It's 3 degrees Celsius here. Well, that should be the rest that should be hatching today or tomorrow, I'm guessing. Because they all kind of hatch within a day or so. Good luck with all that. Aw, thanks, Mountain Mama. I got a chick named after me. Bought 2 turkeys left. 2 live turkeys to raise, or 2 turkeys, like frozen ones in your freezer? Well, well, good luck at 50 chickens in the hen house. Okay, good live ones. Husband just picked up 3 silkies and 8 runner ducklings just arrived last night. Very, very cool. Shared love, healing vibes for all the sick people out there. Ooh, I can't wait to see videos. I like this time of year. Everybody's having chickens and duckies. And soon that means... See, I want to go to the experimental farm during March break and see all the babies hatching. And I think they'll do the sheep shearing and stuff then. I like those things. But I also have to make sure that I wear proper footwear for them. Like, I'll just wear my Crocs and stuff because they're washable. But one year I didn't. And, like, I had shoes and just the mud and other stuff, like, ruined. Like, it was really muddy. And I literally had to throw out my shoes because I couldn't wash them and get the smell out of them. And they were they were crappy shoes to begin with, because that's what I do. Haven't been to the farm in ages. Last time was ice cream day. Ah, yes. Love ice cream day too. It's been a couple of years. We went, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, Tylenol's good for a fever if you have a fever. You are really awesome. Thanks. Thank you for being you. Let's say I'm still here. Awesome, Howie. Food for my mouth's not speaking. Food Forest Permaculture, Howie. I like that you like my channel. I'm glad. I just try and be me and share the love and try and connect and read all the chats. Because I like to support the small YouTubers, and especially the ones like I have a quite eclectic of tastes. I like the homesteaders, as well as the cooking shows, as well as the mom shows, as well as sometimes the gamers and there's some of the preppers and that and the fishing channels too. I like them because I like to live vicariously through them. Since we don't drive, we only do fishing when we've gone camping and stuff like that. And it's been a while since I've got a fishing license to do it legit. So, but usually it's just we give the rods to the kids and they can fish because they don't need a fishing license until they're an adult, I think. English Reds. Yeah, I'm not. Only thing fake is my hair color. All chicks are adults. Hey Amanda, are you back? Did you make it to work already? I'll be right back. You guys are chatting. I'm just gonna make my husband some eggs. Speaking of eggs, fake hair, yeah. Exactly. Thanks. I have to do my roots. I gotta do them before Wednesday. Wednesday I'm getting a haircut. At a special place my friend got for my birthday. A hairstylist that cuts curly hair by taking like each individual like curl and cutting them. So that's what's Wednesday. But I have to color before then. I'll be back. scrambled eggs, Jeff? Okay. And toast? Okay, I'm back. Sorry, hubby is homesick today, so I had to make him something to eat. He's probably overhearing me talking about food. Yes, we were talking about that, Jasmine, earlier. Yes, maybe Saturday, about the prices of houses increasing, especially in BC and Toronto. Here too. Now my coffee. Hi, Sherry. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I ran up and down the stairs, so I get back here quickly. Here's an insane price. Land and house is overly priced by $3 million. Wow. Well, in the next few years, it's kind of the time to sell the really expensive property and then buy something cheaper somewhere else. Let's read. Oh yeah. Well, and you couldn't really move somewhere warm with their health care. That's why you go and visit in the wintertime, if you could. Hey, Serge, sorry, I was just getting coffee. Well, I was getting my husband eggs and stuff. I was catching up on messages. I don't like being... Wasn't that what older hens are for? Is for cooking? Oh, there we go. I'm caught up, I think. Huge gap. In the 60s and 70s, it seems easier to buy something to make a profit. Now it's banks ranking it. Yep. I belong to the planet. I do not try and own it this way. I do not have a pain body. If the hens have names, yes, I can see how it could be difficult because then there can be more pets. But that is when it's kind of like you send them. You might not be able to process them yourself. But I mean, our grandparents and stuff did that. Like they had hens and chickens and goose or whatever, and when it was time to have food, they processed them. They didn't send them off somewhere. And I mean, I remember like my grandmother said that, you know, that my grandfather had his family, I think, lived on a farm or that or grandfather's farm or something, and they had names on all their animals, but their purpose was for eating. So when it came time to harvest them, they did. So when times were lean, they harvested them more often. And then some people just have them for their eggs. Or they send them off to freezer camp and for their friends to pay the processing fee and stuff like that. Hey, Jono on the go. How's it going? Hey, Lee Jones. I used to work with a company that had an office. Well, that's close to my house. I live close to the Queensway in Canada, by near the kind of near where the wave pool-ish is. So if you know Canada, that's roughly where I am. But where I volunteer, it's near in the industrial park where we call what is kind of fondly known as Silicon Valley of the North, because there's all the major tech companies there, like from BlackBerry to Apple to Samsung, all those, like the cell phone companies, internet companies, high tech things for like airplane, their technology, their not surveillance, their what's it called? Their scanner system and stuff. All those companies all have offices up in the north end of Canada. Keeley Jones. I'm gonna make sure I'm supporting you. I'm like, make sure everybody's like sharing the love. It must be easier to buy something. Yes. Howie, that's a good way to think of being belong to the planet, and you shouldn't try and own it. It's kind of good philosophy to live by. Hi, Love Galanti. How's it going? Nice to have you on my channel. Geese and ducks, just no pets. Just my pets, no eating. Well, do you eat their eggs, Jim and Tara? Ours are like that, Jim, keeping them as friends. I'm leaving, getting back to work. Have a great day. Thanks very much for popping by. Yes, feel free to share the love. That's most of my participants are good at that. Okay, good. I don't, not much of an egg eater. Oh, okay. So you just have them as pets, or do you sell the eggs maybe as a profit for like a business type thing? I forgot the name of the company before it was bought by the company I worked for. So people named. Yeah, I don't know like people that live there, but that work there. But yeah, it's my sister-in-law and her hubby work in North Canada in the industrial park there for different companies, which I can't remember what they are either. Well, we'll follow you when you belong and forget the money that is on everything. That's why the world can be hectic. Yeah. So this is like we try not to do. We bought our house because we still owe on it. We bought our house because that way, when we're done paying on it, the same amount what we'd be paying in rent, we'd have at least some equity. Because we don't drive, we don't own cars and stuff. Okay, Jim and Tara. Well, then they're just pets. And that is fine, just yours are feathered pets. Well, I hope everybody, colds, good things for colds, honey, lemon, tea. If you make a hot toddy, you could do it all, and then throw some rum or whiskey in it. Houses and money, yes. Remember, I'm an adult with ADD. I change subjects as soon as I see them. Kind of like, ooh, shiny. Squirrel. Anyways, yeah. So, I mean, we bought our house at the time that we did because we wanted, so we'd have at least some equity. So that in possibly about 10 years down the road, we'd have something that if we do sell it, we have it. We have some money in RDSPs and a tiny bit in RRSPs. But that's all we have because we tend to more, not necessarily, we prepare a little bit for the future, but not a lot. You know, those are like my two favorite things: money, talking about houses and money, work out motor. Yes, but so you actually like talking about those things versus you work there and that's all you talk about. Rather have good health than riches, but I do want enough money to comfortable live. Exactly. That's why, like for example, my youngest daughter she's blind, so we were able to do an RDSP, so we could put money in, and the government gives matches the money 1 to 3 times depending on our income, so that when she's 49 or older, she can cash that in without having to worry. She can cash it in before then, but then she'll be taxed on it. But it's a much better deal than an RSP. We have a couple of those, but we're not. We kind of like to want to enjoy life now, prepare a little bit for the future, because we know. Like, so the good thing about living in Canada is we know our health will be covered by health care that we're already paying into over the years. We're not using it a lot now, but we will in the future. So we don't have to save money for our medical bills because we live in Canada. But we do have some money so that we can live off of. And my husband, where he works, he has pension, not a huge one, but one that will be fine. We build hidden in the winds, wilds, and folks live there quite well. Very cool. An eco village. Well, BC is there's a lot of eco villages and eco green living and stuff. Is my favorite. Yeah, so I'm really getting into Dave Ramsey. I'm like watching a bit of stuff, and I've watched different channels that do his budget system, and I do like it. I want to save money for different things, but we tend to do things because you also have a really good climate there that it doesn't get usually as cold as it does the rest of Canada. So you don't have to worry about so much like insulation and all that stuff. But there's a lot more environmental groups and stuff like that people there are much more in tune with nature and the environment and trying to not do more damage than we already are, or do as minimal damage. But like I was saying, for us, we save up a bit for the future, and then we save up to live pretty good now. Like I was talking about earlier in my live stream about we're planning on vacation, but like how we do vacation is we put it on the credit card and then we pay it off before we do vacation. You grow lemons outside? Wow, we can't do that here. Even in southern Ontario, I don't think it gets hot enough to do lemons outside. Figs they might. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, but this year you see snow. Government, the best you can. Wonderful way to live. Yes, so that's really cool, and you can do that and be able to. That's where, like, you could be an artist and sell your art or whatever to make some profit to live off of and live somewhat free. and not be attached to, um, well, that's really cool, and not to be attached to and stuck in a job, you know? Like, we're all kind of living in the rat race, you know, and kind of detaching yourself from that a bit is good. But then there's also some people that, like, we also have to have people in the rat race, because otherwise, um, the whole society will fall apart. So things like like people complain of migrant farmers, you know, working the farms and getting paid less or whatever. Well, they're choosing to do that because they need to feed their families and stuff. But farms don't make a lot of money. Some farms don't make a lot of money to pay a living wage and stuff, but nobody else is also volunteering to do those jobs either. So, like, that's why I say it's like seeing the States and stuff like that. People were complaining about that, and we have people actually in Canada that come up to the farms up here from places like Jamaica and Barbados and the Caribbean, that where there's not a lot of jobs and they don't have a lot of education. They come up here into Canada to work on the farms, and they get enough, like they get room and board and then a wage. I know a couple of people that have come to our church that were like that. They came and lived up here for the summer and then moved back home for the rest of the year. They had to pay taxes and all that stuff too, so it's not like it's illegal or anything like that. But a lot of our farms near us are having trouble, just like the strawberry farms are having trouble hiring people, even at minimum wage, to pick the fields of strawberries so that they can sell them. I have friends whose kids used to work at the local strawberry farms near us, like within 5-minute drive. That they'd work as teenagers and they'd get paid. It wasn't not by an hour, but it was by the basket, and they'd get paid something like $4 or $3 a basket, you know, and then they'd sell that basket for like $10, right? But they can, depends on how fast they worked. Sometimes they get paid like $20, $30 an hour. So that was way more than minimum wage. But some years, the farms weren't making as much, so they just didn't hire as many people, so they could still make a decent amount of income each person. Put the avocados in the shade in the greenhouse. Oh, that's nice to have a greenhouse. Do you have videos on your channel about your greenhouse? I really haven't looked. I've only seen a few, like my subscribers, a few of their channels' videos, and I'd like to know. I like the ones with some greenhouses, as I'd like to. That's about the only thing I could possibly do on my property, is to have a tiny, tiny greenhouse where it'd be possible to grow some stuff. I have a little shelf one that I bought last year for inside the house, and I could put it outside for a bit. But I would love to see how other people do it. Lights and remade wrapping. Cool. Sure, cob is 1 part sand, 1 part clay. Hay forms like a corn cob. Now you have a textile. Cool. Yeah, permaculture. Just how I just said, 1 part sand, 1 part clay, 1 part hay. Made like like clay, and then you build the house like that. Okay, Jasmine. See you in a bit. And lots of videos of it. Yes. Cool. I will definitely check them out today, because it's one of those days that's it's like I can feel the spring wanting to come in the air. So once spring comes, I want to start looking at gardening stuff. Not where he is. Where he is, it doesn't usually get like the thing is it's its own insulation. That is cool. That is really cool. Um, yeah, where he is, it doesn't get as cold. like as we do here all the time, but it's its own installation because I'm sure you're making it like probably like at least a foot thick. It's like how houses and stuff were made with the settlers and the the people that first came here. Um, they used what materials they had in the area. It's kind of like if you had a log house, but you'd have to the stuff that you fill in the cracks of the logs. The biggest thing would be the windows, and if you put glass and stuff in them, having that well insulated. Because like anything, it's your weakest point. I know people who up here. There's a couple of eclectic people who have dug like ground underground shelters and houses, and then one person who's dug a hole and put like a school bus in the ground and covered it and made it a shelter, and the ground has been its insulation, which is kind of neat. It was on our news a few years ago. Straw bale is the insulation some housing will lend money to build. Okay. Oops, I dropped some stuff. I'm messy. Homeless and all. Well, yeah, you could make it for the homeless. Like, this is why it's fairly cheap to build housing. You just have to have the land. But what he's saying, where he lives, I think it's an actual like community thing too. I mean, that's why there's the tiny house movement and stuff like that. That's also in some states and some cities they're building them for the homeless. Biodigester is used instead of a septic field. Very cool. Like I don't necessarily know where it is, but it's kind of sounding like a commune type thing, but not quite. Where it's sort of like everybody's help. It's like a co-op. Everybody has to put in their time to help to make the community better. I don't want to necessarily use the word commune because it has a negative um, connotation towards other stuff, but it's more like a co-op where you're building and stuff and helping support one another to make your community better. And it's only and I wish like just regular communities. Like I know my neighbors, but I don't know them very well. But the people on my street all work and stuff like that, and they wouldn't necessarily know me from a hole in the wall because I don't even see them. Like where I live, people don't even go outside in their front yards much. They'll go in their backyards. Well, everything has fenced in, so you can't see their backyards. So if one of us got sick, nobody would notice until major things happened. Okay, so I guess I need to read up on all this. It wasn't a tiny houses for the homeless. Exactly. And well, the tiny house movement up here in Canada is going crazy too, because you can get you can get some really cheap land up here. Mind you, the land is not necessarily great for farming on. You can get some really cheap land, mostly on the Canadian Shield, where it's like pure rock. Like you got this much soil, and you got rock, right? So it's great to build on, but not necessarily great for growing. So you'd have to do raised beds or whatever type thing. It would be great for some livestock, but not for others. Um, and the further north you go, you can get much cheaper land, right? So if you can get lots of land for a cheap price, then you could build a tiny house The permaculture movement, known as the Quiet Revolution. Yes, that was. It's kind of like they're taking the great concepts and the environmentalism from the 60s, from the hippie era, but bringing it to today's times and adding technology and adding organization and adding like concrete things to making it possible versus going with the flow. And it's quite big, especially in BC. BC is like you can't do anything in BC without being environmentally friendly. It's getting really cold this week in the UK. Really? Wow. This week is not. I don't know. Hey Google, what's the weather this week?
Today through Saturday in Ottawa, it'll be cloudy most of the time, but on Wednesday there'll be showers. Highs will be around 4 today, be around 8 tomorrow, then stay around 4 until Saturday. Lows will be around -5 today, then stay around -2 until Saturday.
So it's actually going to be above zero all week, and then below freezing, like just below zero, in the evenings. So my driveway might be removal of ice by then. Book by David Holmgren. Retro suburbia one should own to find your way, Sherry. That's like a good idea. We got snow warnings all week. I'm just happy we're kind of sort of seeing above zero. Because we had a really crappy January. February has been all over the place. Thanks for sharing that info, Howie. You should do another snow video. I was going to do a freezing rain one the other day, but then it was just way too slippery. Retro Suburbia. Let me see which one. Here's the link to his website. It has his books and stuff. Just if you're interested. So, there we go. Food forest. Which one's your website? What's your website? giving you a wrench there, FFP Howie there, so you can post your, because I think that's the one that you were talking about. That's the, has his books and stuff on there, if anybody was interested in looking at permaculture. And you can put a link, you can cut and paste, and you can put the link so people, it's clickable. And I'll put that link when this channel's done. I'll put it in the description for people too. I'm off, guys. Bye, Jono. Thanks for popping by. Nice seeing you again. Have a wonderful day. Stay warm. Hi, Creative Redundancy. Good morning. Okay, Food Forest. I'll go and try and find the link that I'll put in here. What you do is Control All, and you highlight the link. Control C for copy and Control V for pasting. For permaculture. Yes, I enjoyed my Saturday. I had my hubby picked up mutton rolls from Sri Lankan restaurant. We had that, and then had the dumplings, and then we had Dutch chocolate cake, and then we went to see Black Panther. Yes, it was. It was lots of fun. I'm having a hard time finding your website, Food Forest. Because I don't see it as Food Forest Permaculture as a link. It's coffee time. Yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, it didn't when I tried to search for it before. Is that it? Okay, there we go. I'll put it in here. It was not liking me. Okay, because when I tried to type it in before, it said there was the Google wrench error saying that website does not exist. And I'm like, ugh, technology doesn't always like me. Blue wrench, never had one before. So sorry. Yeah, no. With the blue wrench, it just means that if there's somebody who comes in that's bad, you can get rid of them. But also allows you to put links because other people can't put links. So if you had like the link to your website, you can highlight Control C, that would be copy, go here, Control P for paste. Because you never know who, like, so that's why I like to give a few people wrenches that are usually in my live streams that you might not all be on at the same time, but if there's somebody else, because I'm sometimes not quick at seeing the chat on here, so I have to look over here, and if you see something come up, then you can, yeah, lots of bad people to practice on. Yeah. Well, not too many in my live streams. I usually only get one or two in them. Today, none yet. Yes, people are just so mean sometimes. But but I'm gonna be having to let you go, guys, soon. I'll put that link to your thing underneath once this uploads. So now that I have it in my thing, I'll put the link. Yeah, I got a phone call that somebody called me on while I was doing this, and I'm like, oh, I'll get them when I'm done. So I should get back to them and finish the laundry. I put some into the wash. Now it's just sitting there, so I have to put in the dryer. I have just things to do. um, yes, you need to go shopping, especially after talking about food and eating and all that stuff. Bye, everybody. Um, I I don't think I'll be online tomorrow morning. I might be on tomorrow. Uh, Not tomorrow. Wednesday morning for a bit. If not, I will be on Thursday morning for a live stream. So yeah, tomorrow I get to go bring my oldest to CHEO, the Children's Hospital, for orthopedic um, stuff for her elbow and arm. So if we get a ride, I might be on. If we don't get a ride, I won't be on because we have to take the bus, and it takes about an hour and a half. So fun, fun, fun. Bye. Have a great day. Don't forget, I did a video I put out this morning. It's on eggnog fudge. So if you like eggnog, Check it out. It's super yummy. And super easy. Bye.